Isn't this what you wanted? This is the much awaited Hyundai Venue N-Line, and we've got limited time with it today. So without wasting any time, we have shown you how it performs. So stick around a little longer to see the performance figures. And in this video, we'll also be telling you about all the changes inside and out, and we'll be discussing the pricing and whether or not you should buy it. Welcome back to CarWale. I'm Bilal, and you know the drill. It's like, share, subscribe to the CarWale channel, and if you have any other opinion, do share it with us in the comment section below, because I promise you we read them all. So the Venue has just recently received a comprehensive facelift with a lot of nips and tucks. So if you want to watch a detailed video on the Venue facelift, click on the banner somewhere around on your screen. Ah, you're still here. So let us take a look at all the frills and tinkles the N-Line brings to the Venue. There are 3 color options for the N-Line. First, the N-Line Special, which we would have wanted here because that looks special. It's called the Thunder Blue. There's also a Polar White, which looks quite understated and a sleeper if you may call it. And lastly, this Titan Grey you see here seems to take inspiration from expensive Euro supercars which are done up in something called Nardo Grey. And the N-Line specific bits up front includes this dark chrome radiator grille with the N-Line badging hidden here. Moreover, there's this reprofiled bumper with a red accent running all along. And on the side, you get these N-Line specific 16-inch alloy wheels with red brake calipers hidden inside. Also, there's an N-Line badging on the front fender and red accent running along the doors. You also get blacked out roof-mounted spoiler and a roof rail as well. And at the back, as I mentioned earlier, this blacked out roof spoiler, it's also specific to the N-Line. Another N-Line specific is the reprofiled bumper, an N-badging here, some black accents here and there, and dual exhaust tips. And these exhaust tips aren't just for looks, they also sound good. And if you thought that the exterior of the Venue N-Line is special, the interior is even more so. Because reminding you that this isn't your regular run-of-the-mill Venue, this all-black cabin gets red accents thrown all around. So the leather seat upholstery, it gets contrast red stitching with N-badging here and some red decals as well. There's red accents on this AC vents, there's red circular dials for the AC control, and then you get red accents on the steering wheel and on the door pads as well. And this steering wheel, it's specific to the N-Line. You get the same steering wheel in the i20, and I for one love the design, the feel, the touch, and the design of the buttons over here. Also lovely is this N-Line specific gear lever. It's nice to hold, the design is very premium and it feels like a proper sports car. We like how the all-digital driver's display turns red in the sport mode and matches the rest of the cabin. There are more N-Line badges seen on the gear lever and the steering wheel as well. An interesting feature addition in this Venue N-Line is this. It's a dual vision dash cam which not only records over the dashboard but also inside the cabin. And it's available only in the N8 version and it can be connected through a smartphone wirelessly. But sadly we haven't connected it right now, so we cannot show you how it looks, but that's something for another day then. For a detailed rundown on the feature distribution in the available 2 variants, do head on to our website www.carwale.com. Now let's see how the Hyundai Venue N-Line is to drive and also check its performance figures as promised. But before that, Stat check. The Venue N-Line is only available with one engine option. It's the familiar 1-litre turbo-petrol which puts out around 120 horsepower and 172 Newton meter, and it can be had only with a 7-speed DCT as the sole gearbox option. There's no manual or IMT here. Now Hyundai says there's no changes to the powertrain, but the steering and the suspension setup has been tuned for this specific N-Line. We have already sampled this powertrain on numerous occasions and found it to be quite a potent one. There's good grunt right off the mark, and the strong mid-range is too much fun. Paired with a smooth shifting DCT, this powertrain is a hoot to throw around. Despite being a 3-cylinder, the vibrations are kept in check and you can easily potter around town or do cross-country jaunts with no complaints from this engine whatsoever. As per usual, there are 3 drive modes in the Venue N-Line: Eco, Normal and Sport, and they are selectable through this fancy looking circular dial placed right behind the gear lever. In a normal Venue, this exact space is a slot to keep your keys or any of your knickknacks, but here you get a circular dial for the Sport mode. And I for one have been driving the entire day in a Sport mode for only one reason, that the sporty exhaust note, it's very prominent in the Sport mode and it's music to our ears. Now for the performance figures, here are the 0 to 60 km per hour and 0 to 100 km per hour times for the Venue N-Line. And for your reference, here are the performance figures for the standard Venue 1-litre turbo with a manual gearbox. Now talking about the actual changes that has gone into the Venue N-Line, it's the steering and the suspension. Now comparatively, the suspension setup or the ride quality of the Venue N-Line is on a stiffer side. It has an underlying stiffness to it and you feel the irregularities more often than you want to. But on the flip side, when you're ready to push it, the body rolls are not as pronounced as you would expect them to be. And the steering, again, it's not very quick, going almost 3 turns from lock to lock, but it's progressive and has nice weight added to it. So the Venue N-Line, it's the ride and handling, it's definitely worth the extra money that you pay for it over the standard one. You can walk into any Hyundai showroom and get yourself the Venue N-Line in the available 2 versions, the N6 and N8. And since they're based on the range-topping SXO version of the standard Venue, the pricing for it starts at 12.16 and 13.15 respectively. And if you want, you can also get the dual-tone version for an additional 15,000 rupees. Compare it with the equivalent range-topping Venue with a 1-litre DCT, and the N-Line, it comes at a premium of close to 60,000 rupees. That's not a lot of money for the good looks of the N-Line, the unique sounds from the exhaust, and the feature upgrade as well. Not to forget, the Venue N-Line starts a new trend in the sub 4 meter SUV segment, which I hope the competition will try to match. So, would you buy the Hyundai Venue N-Line, or are you fine buying the standard Venue? Or do you want some of the features from the Venue N-Line to be offered in the standard version as well? Do let us know your opinion in the comment section below. And stay tuned to CarWale for an in-depth road test of the standard Venue facelift and this N-Line as well. This is Bilal signing off. Until next time.